Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Eat Sleep Fantasy Football Podcast. This is another quick one for you. Joining me is Clayton. My name is Dale. Guys, we're going to talk about Allen Robinson today. Yes, I said it. Allen Robinson. Clayton has a crazy thing. He thinks Allen Robinson is going to have a career year. Everybody's having a career year, according to Clayton.
Yeah, big year this year. Big year for everybody.
Everybody's going to be awesome. But in particular, Allen Robinson might finish as a top 20 wide receiver. If you want to know why, stick around. We'll tell you. All right, Clayton, what do you have here for Allen Robinson? Look, I like Allen Robinson too. I think he could be, he's a shoo-in for top 36 wide receiver for sure, right? In my opinion. But
I'm going top 20, Dale, and here's the reason why. I kind of pictured it this way, like as I was looking at doing my research and stuff like that. Allen Robinson is like, a new girl in high school. So new girl comes to school, new to the school, right? Just like him, he went to the Bears. Look at the seasons that he did have, 2019 to 2020. Both 1,000-yard seasons back to back. That's the grades 10 and 11, things are good. I'm dating this girl. She's popular. Everything's good. Then realizes, shit, I'm going to college. There's definitely somebody better than this clown. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Breaks up with me. Right. Breaks up with me, falls flat on her face, just like A-Rob did last year. Right. They get rid of, the semi-decent quarterback they had 2 years before that. Breaks up with him or breaks up with me, then falls flat on her face, realizes that I'm the best thing for her, right? So now let's take a look at Robinson's numbers from last year. 12 games, 2021, inconsistent play pretty much, was just terrible. Set career lows in receptions, receiving yards, touchdowns, finished as wide receiver 86. Brutal, just terrible.
Yeah. He just gave up.
Yeah, so then all of a sudden he comes down to free agency and boom, he signs with a team that arguably he's going to have the best quarterback he's ever played with in Matthew Stafford. And the Rams, besides, is a perfect fit for him. And McVay knew right off the bat, he does have 3,000-yard seasons on his resume. So that's huge. And that was all with these shitty quarterbacks that he had. Bortles, Trubisky, Foles, Dalton. I mean, Fields, obviously Fields didn't really get a decent enough shot. But anyways, and now he steps into a wide receiver 2 role with, ODB or Odell Beckham not signed yet and possibly not going to be able to be ready to play. So line up opposite of Cooper Kupp. Now, with the position itself between Odell Beckham last year and Robert Woods, the Rams, they were averaging almost 14 PPR points per game last season between those two players. So, I mean, right off the bat, good numbers already, fantasy numbers for Robinson moving forward. And this team is a way more pass-friendly offense, right? Than he's ever been on. I mean,
he's ever been on. I mean, if you look back at all his teams, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and like I said, Stafford being the best quarterback he's had, they're going to get a good chemistry right off the hop here. So like I said, I mean, with Robinson not having to be the alpha in this offense for the first time in his career, with Kupp, garnering pretty much all the attention from defenders, I honestly see him finishing as a top 20 wide receiver and potential setting some career highs this year. That's why I'm buying him wherever I can. And when I say career numbers, I'm not talking about touchdown point. I'm talking about receptions most likely. I think the most he's ever had in a season was 102. I can see him going over that. I do think Cooper Kupp's going to regress a little bit. I mean, you can't go back-to-back seasons the way what he just did. Like that's impossible, right? So I mean, that ball is going to be spread around a little bit more. And like I said, defenders are going to be, attacking Kupp a little bit more than what they were all year. So, I mean, as far as that goes, I do see him definitely receptions for sure. Definitely receptions. Yards might be a little bit tough because, I mean, his career high in yards was 1,400 back in 2015 with the Jags. So, but definitely receptions and possibly he's going to get double-digit touchdowns again. So
he had 1,400 yards 8 years ago, Clayton.
Yeah. Don't worry.
8 years ago for a wide receiver is a lot.
Okay, but he had 1,250 in 2020, just 2 years ago.
Right. Yeah. I think the biggest look, are you going to get him at a discount this year based off of his performance last year? Yeah. Right. You're going to get a better price, him finishing wide receiver 86. Right.
And I
So
definitely think people have given up on him, right? I mean, I've had him on a couple dynasty teams for years. I don't want to give up on him because I know the potential, right? And I got him as a discount 2 years ago. When he had went to Chicago, or 3 years ago when he went to Chicago, just because people were worried about the season he had in Jacksonville, he was injured, got traded to Chicago, and then I got a discount at that. And I've been sitting on him, and like obviously you get amped up with a couple good seasons and then let down again. Standard fantasy football, right? But I'm just saying, you look at how this passing offense was last year. I'm going to go buy into whoever's lining up opposite of Cooper Cup, or sorry, not opposite of Cooper Cup, but lining up outside
yeah,
in a pass heavy offense like the Rams do
being the second option to Cooper Cup.
Exactly.
And near probably there's a lot of wide receivers that would take a huge bump if they were opposite of Cooper Cup, right? I mean, can you imagine if I don't know, Adam Thielen or Tyler Lockett, Michael Pittman Jr., those guys. Imagine if they were, opposite of Cooper Cup. Even,
Yeah.
a little bit better guys, Chris Godwin. Not Chris Godwin, I'm sorry. He's just fine, but Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, well, like I mean, you even look at the people will sit there and say, well, what if Odell Beckham does sign again? I mean, they still have Van Jefferson. Like even then, this throws enough that they're going to be able to sustain two solid top 20 wide receivers. Look at Cincinnati, for example, right? You got, I mean, Jamar Chase, which is we'll hopefully discuss him at a future episode, but Jamar Chase, and then you got, T Higgins in there, both solid options. Then you got Tyler Boyd there as well. So all pass heavy offenses, and you're seeing those guys in the top 24.
Yeah.
If that made sense.
All right. It's hard for me to spend draft capital on Allen Robinson over Hunter Renfrow. I think Hunter Renfrow is much safer. Do you agree or no? Maybe not has the biggest boom potential, but he's Renfrow is definitely safer than Allen Robinson. Do you disagree?
Where do you have where do you have Robinson ranked right now? Do you know?
35.
35. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess in PPR, I guess Renfrow would be the better option, right? Because he plays out of the slot. So
look, so my question is, Allen Robinson is a safe floor player, right? Like you're not going to get a lot of boom from him. I don't think he's that player. Do you agree with that? Do you think you're going to get big games out of him? I don't think you're going to get big games.
I do think you're going to. Yeah, I do think you're going to get a few big games out of him.
Okay.
I think you're going to get consistent wide receiver 2 play every week. I currently have him inside my top, or just outside my top 30. So I'm at 31, where I have Hunter Renfrow at 32. So if I'm going by my rankings, I'm going to say I feel not a lot more confident, but more confident in Robinson's play, because now they got Raiders got Adams there.
Mm-hmm.
Renfro's not going to get all those looks that he had last year.
No, he's the third option now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And with a healthy Darren Waller, so that's the problem. That's where I'm at with that.
All right. I can't rank Allen Robinson ahead of Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk, I think, has much bigger potential. When you're drafting these guys in the late, as your wide receiver 3, right? In the 6th round or something, maybe. It's hard to waste that capital on when other people seem so much safer.
Fair enough.
I mean,
I would have to break it down. As far as Ayuk goes, I do have Ayuk a couple spots higher than him as well.
Okay. Right.
But if I got to look at it, like if he's going to play 16 games, and just because of the way the offense ran last year, I love the landing spot for Allen Robinson. That's why I do believe that he's going to be.
It's the best scenario.
He will finish. Yeah. He will finish as in the top 20. And you know what? And if I need to say it again, Dale, book that too.
Whoa! Yeah, another book it.
Yeah, you
Wait,
betcha.
I need a. Oh, I want a. We need a sound, a drop for book it. Like we need like a
Oh, that'd be
like
sweet.
a
Yeah.
sound of a book, right? Do
Like
we?
hitting the table. Just hitting the table.
Yeah.
Find it.
Right. Yeah.
If I do that right now, you'll get upset with me, think I'm hitting the mic and all that stuff. So let's just not do that.
All right. That sounds. Yeah. I mean, look. I disagree. I disagree that to draft him anything more than a wide receiver 3. There's no way he's going to be a wide receiver 2 in my mind. But hey, if you don't like the guy, Darnell Mooney, I guess I would take Allen Robinson over Mooney.
Based on offense.
I think okay, here's one. I'll tell you the guys I would take over Allen Robinson. Okay. You tell me if I'm crazy.
Okay.
Because now I'm starting to go on your side a little bit. I would take Allen Robinson over Darnell Mooney, over Jerry Jeudy, over Gabriel Davis, over Robert Woods.
Yep.
You agree with all that?
I do.
Possibly over Amon St. Brown. You're going to disagree with me, and that's what we'll end the show.
Yeah, I do. I do like St. Brown a lot.
All right, guys. Before we go, make sure you are following us on Twitter at EatSleepFF. Make sure you subscribe, comment, or put a thumbs up here on YouTube. Go to some of our other videos if you want to see more. If you're not watching on YouTube, go ahead and just subscribe over there because we're going to do some cool stuff this year. And if you're not listening on the audio only, maybe you go to iTunes or Spotify or wherever you're at now and subscribe. Just subscribe everywhere. Anywhere you can subscribe that says Eat Sleep Fantasy. Guys, we appreciate you, and we'll talk to you soon.